And Shaco is banned.
Yeah, Shaco first ban coming out of the team of M.I.C. Obviously a target ban towards Tang Wei, not a champion that you would normally ban in the meta. Tahm Kench, much more of a meta ban coming out of the side of Royal Never Give Up.
Yeah, absolutely. We did actually see CRG using Tom Cage extremely well this week. He's just so good at being this threat. You can incredibly useful when you're trying to check objectives, things like that. He's going to gobble you up, save you, gobble you up, stops all sorts of CC coming your way. It's just generally a brilliant champion in terms of utility. Graves does go out, so we won't be seeing any Graves jungle this game. And the Xin Zhao, interesting ban. He has been actually buffed recently, and we do see the Udyr as well.
Those
So
attack
does
speed junglers in Xin Zhao and Udyr quite powerful in solo queue right now. Udyr obviously having a massive buff with the runic echoes, jungle enchantment that you can build on him. That AP item just synergizes really well with his Phoenix Fire, does tons of damage, increases his movement speed by tenfold, so he can run around doing lots of damage, and he gets really tanky as well. So possibly a bit of a broken item on Udyr right now. We'll have to see how Riot handle that as we move into 6.4. Twisted Fate, our last ban for the side of Royal Never Give Up. And it's going to be this Ezreal Hobbit for M.I.C. Such a strong pick in the meta right now, and they do lock it in.
Yeah, incredibly safe pick to start off your picks and bans with, really. Ezreal, he's got extremely good kite, especially with how people tend to build him, the blue Ezreal style at the moment. We did see plenty of Jarvan as well last week. Again, that sort of utility, very sort of flexible as far as a first pick and ban goes. It's interesting to see that we do have a huge number of bans, target bans, coming out against the jungler Tang Wanyu. So particularly he could well be seen as the strongest player on that team.
Yeah, jungle is definitely a position where there's a lot of power picks, especially in solo queue. Xin Zhao as well as Udyr, really powerful for the solo queue meta. Nidalee going to be hovered now for M.I.C. on the blue side, so it's going to be interesting to see if they lock that one in. Jarvan, we did see a bit of it last week, but not necessarily a champion we're currently seeing in competitive play. Definitely strong in a team composition. If you're able to synergize with his ultimate, get everyone locked up inside that, then put down all the damage in that AoE area, then you can do a lot. Not so powerful against an Ezreal who can just arcane shift out of there.
Yeah, well, this is the thing, and I think why Jarvan's taken sort of hit over the last year or so is just because he does have a lot of counters. You know, back when Vayne was played a fair amount, that was horrible. Too many champions have dashes, and he just doesn't have the lockup that he used to bring. And again, the Nidalee also has a dash, so can he comfortably get out of that? And Nidalee, a lot more meta jungler at the moment, and just brings a huge amount of map pressure. Great counter jungler, doesn't really have any weak spots other than her lack of CC and lockup. So really, these two junglers are sort of counter opposites in how they should be played.
Yeah, Jarvan, such a all-in engage champion, whereas obviously Nidalee, you play from the backline. As a disgusting Nidalee main that I am, you do have that ability to just throw those spears from the backline. You're going to synergize that quite nicely with the Ezreal. A lot of poke coming in, and then when you do want to go for that all-in engage, you have that Diana who can dive onto the squishies of the team. Although when you've got a champion like Jarvan, you've got a champion like Singed and Annie, it's going to be pretty hard for Diana to just dive in or without just getting blown up instantly. So going to have to see how Becky CC will use that one, assuming it does go into the mid lane.
Yeah, I think you picked up on the strategy coming out of M.I.C. quite well, Dalsy. I think it does look like their idea is to sort of poke them down and then sort of dive in. They've picked up possibly the Nautilus in that support role, and again the Diana jumping in for the finishes, along with Fiora as well. And Fiora and Nautilus both heavy hitting top lane picks at the moment. It will be Nautilus in support role though, and it does mean that we're going to have a very interesting matchup in top lane, because I don't think I've ever seen a Singed versus a Fiora. Singed slightly out of the meta, but always I think will be. However, a good Singed player, you never know really what to expect. Proxy farming and those sort of things.
Yeah, Singed got a bit of a buff in the current Season 6. with the AP items as well as the masteries that just allow him to sustain in lane, allows him to slow with his kit. It's what a Singe wants to do. He wants to kind of kite from behind, from in front, with his poison trail. So a good Singe player definitely can punish. It'll be interesting to see how Best Sean manages to do that. He is going to be up against Bugtan on that Fiora in the top lane, so a bit of a mismatch type of champions that we're going to be seeing up there.
Yeah, and I think that actually is going to make for a really interesting game. I do think M.I.C does have a bit more synergy just in the way they play. There is a bit of a wombo combo on the side of Royal Never Give Up here on the right side of your screen. You know, the Annie Tibbers, the Zyra ult, and also the Jarvan for the lockup. How Singed and the Caitlyn fit into that is, we'll have to see how it plays out. But really, what I would like to see is a sort of 4-1 split push. I think we'll see in this game with Fiora and Singed both away with the teleports ready to jump into the fight.
Quite interesting. For those who didn't realize, Jarvan hasn't been having such a great time in League of Legends on Summoner's Rift since Vel'Koz was released all the way back then, because since then you had Brum, who was released, who can just jump out of the Cataclysm with his W. Gnar can obviously jump out of it, or if he's in Mega Gnar, he uses his Gnar ultimate and then knocks Jarvan into the wall. Azir obviously can Shurima shuffle out of that. Kalista can hop over. Rek'Sai can tunnel over. Bard can Q into the wall and then get away with a portal. Echo has his E or his ultimate to come back in, disrespect Jarvan. Tarm can W allies out of it. Kindred, well, she has the hop, or she can land down that Lamb's Respite. And Alawi, well, you don't want to ultimate an Alawi because she just uses her ultimate, and all of a sudden you got so many tentacles flying onto you. So really, since Vel'Koz Jhin being the most recent champion, gets completely screwed over by Jarvan's Cataclysm, but he hasn't had a great time. Like, all these new champions coming onto the Summoner's Rift have made Jarvan stay quite hard. Cataclysm, obviously, an ability that used onto the right target, very powerful, used onto the wrong target, such as the Fiora, the Nidalee, the Ezreal, they can all just jump out of it. So it'll be interesting to see how Tang, when you will use that Cataclysm in these team fights.
Yeah, it's true. It works quite well as a sort of changing, to change the environment of the fight as well. Just generally blocking off certain players from certain areas of the fight, and Caitlyn traps actually synergize well with that. And Zyra plants, Zyra ultimate are gonna change the battlefield if we have quite a spread out team fight, and it's gonna be about how well Royal Never can control and time these ultimates and these abilities that change the terrain, really, and make people move around them. So it's quite interesting to see, and I think you're so right about the Jarvan, taking these ninja buffs because of these new champions. And think when you're developing League of Legends champions these days, the new champions, they just have to be so mobile, and this was the I think the trend that we've seen. A lot of the old champions don't have as many dashes or crazy sort of displacement moves that the new champions get.
Yeah, so for the side of Royal Never Give Up, they do have that wombo combo. A good Cataclysm straight into a Tibbers stun will nuke the enemy. Zyra obviously with that ultimate as well. So huge AoE stunning abilities that will be able to knock up, displace, and just completely destroy the side of M.I.C. But huge mobility on the side of M.I.C. So you're going to kind of see this these two conflicts of compositions. So on the side of M.I.C, they have a lot of poke, a lot of siege, a lot of disengage. On the side of Royal Never Give Up, they're very all-in, heavy engage, and be interesting to see as we get into maybe that 16 to 25-minute mark when the teams start grouping together, start sieging turrets, how both these teams will play it. Because for M.I.C, they just want to poke, siege, run away. Royal Never Give Up, they're going to want to all-in engage, just jump straight onto the enemy, try and blow them up. So and for the side of Royal Never Give Up, if they aren't very confident in their all-in engage, they're going to find themselves losing a lot of health from the poking composition of M.I.C. So such differences in strategic choices from these two teams, and the way they have to play their compositions to win this game, very different as well. So it should be really interesting to see if these teams can fulfill that.
Yeah, absolutely, Dowsy. I do want to pick up before we jump into the game. There is actually, I think, a problem in the side of M.I.C. in that they could get tower dived as we go further into the game. They have the tank on the side, the Nautilus. Yes, he's bringing the CC, but the rest of the team is lackluster in the amount of CC they bring to the table. And it's those sort of environment-changing abilities that are on the side of Royal Never, and they've got a much tankier team because they have the Jarvan and the Singed in there, and they can just dive turrets if it gets to the 30-minute mark. However, how does that play out against the hyper carry of Fiora? Have to see, as we do get onto the Rift.
Yeah, getting onto the Rift, it will be M.I.C versus Royal Never Give Up on the side of the blue team. M.I.C will have KotN in the top lane, Dudu Mimda in the jungle, Becky CC hitting up that mid lane, Jing Mimda in the bot lane, and Sen Zhao Gara on that Nautilus support. And then for the red side, Royal Never Give Up, Best Sean in the top lane with that singed of all champions, Tangwan Yu on that Jarvan in the jungle, Zhao in the mid lane, Monic blah 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 on that AD carry,
Yeah.
Caitlyn, and Faker VIP joining us here in the King of the North on that Zyra support. So definitely an interesting compositions coming out of both these teams. Some great names as well. I'm gonna have a lot of fun yelling out Monica blah 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 when she gets an ace
Yeah.
pentakill, obviously later on in this game.
Yeah, I mean, I'm really excited to hear that go down. I mean, some of these names are super long. How you're going to do the play-by-play? This is going to be fun to listen to, man. We do have fairly standard starts across the board. There was a little bit of scouting, but everyone happy to take these standard starts as we do begin the day. They don't want to do anything too crazy. Both junglers opting for the Hunter's Talisman, as you'd expect. One, Jarvan taking the refillable potion. Jarvan generally has an okay clear, won't do quite as well as Nidalee, who opts for the 3 potions because she will have her heal after a few levels.
Yeah, and the trap setup coming out of Dudu Mimda. Ooh, a lot of damage already in the mid lane. Thunderlord's Decree just procking for that maximum damage onto Becky Sissy. This mid lane is definitely one to watch, Sam, as early game should go in Zhao's favor hugely, as he's going to have the range advantage on that Annie, able to poke down Becky CC before Becky CC does get that Lunar Rush ultimate. Ooh, a little bit of evade actually coming out of Dudu. He actually steals the blue buff, and now he's going to try and get onto Tangwu. The flash comes out. He lands a auto attack, and he's actually just going to auto attack him to death. Fantastic first blood coming out of Dudu Mimda. And as I was saying, as a disgusting Nidalee main, that's what you want to be doing early on in this game. Invading the enemy jungler, trying to lay down that early pressure.
Yeah, no, absolutely, and that's a brilliant start for M.I.C. They are going to take that 1 kill on side of Nidalee, who is looking potentially for a bank bot now. Could see something interesting coming in. They don't seem to be aware of it.
There's the hook onto Faker VIP. Dudu Mimda is here. Exhaust is on Faker VIP. Flash used as well as heal. So that's going to be a lot of summoners blown in the bot lane for the side of Royal Never Give Up. A lot of pressure being put down, which is actually really instrumental because Monica blah 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 on that Caitlyn. The reason they picked Caitlyn into the Ezreal matchup is because Ezreal needs a lot of time to farm up, stack up into that late game carry. And so you pick a lane like Zyra Caitlyn to try and pressure the Ezreal as much as possible. But now you've blown your heal, you've blown your exhaust, and the flash on Zyra, one of the squishiest early game champions there is. That pressure is just all of a sudden lost for Royal Never Give Up.
Yeah, and is this the problem when you have this jungler matchup? The Nidalee does so well, gotten the first blood, nice bit of poke down there from the Ezreal, and you know, we saw a lot of bans coming out on the side of Tangwan Yu, just trying to block off his jungle options. Oh, Becky CC going in a bit.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting how this happens. The stun is available for Zhao. He will throw it onto Becky CC. Flash having to be blown. And Tangwan Yu going for an interesting invade here onto the Nidalee. He will use that flag and drag combo, but a flash jump, and that would be Tangwan Yu going down. A spear to secure the kill as Dudu Mimda lays down the dominance on this jungle Nidalee.
I'm not sure really what the Jarvan was thinking there. Tangwan Yu thinking he'd get something back. He does see Nidalee bottom, but what you got to remember is that Nidalee is such a mobile champion. She could be anywhere and everywhere, jumping with that W, that leap. And I don't know. I think he's just getting a bit big in his boots there, and does pay the price. Very nice flash from Dudamina, who goes in.
Yeah, but he will get stunned up, so Zhao very safe in this mid lane. Thunderlords procking onto the Nidalee, who will have that heal to just get that health back, and he's going to actually hold the lane here, allow Becky CC to go back, buy some items, maybe some resist. He's actually just going to pick up the second Doran's ring, but good play by the jungler, just holding the lane, putting the pressure onto Zhao. It means that Zhao now has, with this minion wave pushed in, possibly going to lose some CC under turret.
This is what you want to see from a Nidalee. You just want her everywhere, piling on the pressure, and like you said, it completely eases off the pressure in that bot lane, and that's her whole strategy. But I'm just taking a bit of a hit there. And it's so far, Dudu Mimzo is just playing a brilliant Nidalee game, very reminiscent of the sort of Rainovers and things like that in the NA LCS, and just Nidalee player just piling on the pressure. I'm not really sure what Tangwan Yu is going to be able to do about it. He's going to have to make some big plays when he hits that ominous level 6 of Jarvan. That synergizes very well with Zhao Yu, taking a bit of a hit there.
Ooh, the flip coming out of Best Sean as he laughs and runs away that poison trail, laying down the damage. And it's a really hard one, because normally you fall behind to a champion in the jungle. You just try and hard farm, maybe find a gank here or there, but your objective's not necessarily ganking like Tang Yu's going to attempt, heading down to that bot lane. He isn't spotted out. Those wards have decayed, as we can tell by the rubble. Dude Memed in the top lane. The challenge is put down onto Best Sean. He will surely floor, and there it goes. Challenge being completed by KotN, who will pick up the kill. But for Tangwan Yu, he's so far behind, level 3 to the level 5 of Dudu Mimda. He really just needs to be trying to secure as much farm as possible to bring himself back into the game.
Yeah, absolutely, and it's not helping him that he's sitting bot, not being able to make anything. You know, you've got an Ezreal there who can just arcane shift away. That's the ult.
Yeah, the flash tibbers onto Becky CC. Here comes Tangwan Yu. Can he land the flag and drag? He will miss it. He will slow down Becky CC though. So will they be able to catch him? Dudu Mimdo is here for the counter gank, and he's going to throw straight onto Zhao, laying down so much damage, and he picks up the, well, Zhao picks up the kill. You have to be so careful. Here's KotN though, going to flash over and pick up the kill. So that will be a 1-for-1 going over to the side of both teams. Becky CC escaping with his life. Zhao showing how powerful this Annie can be when you all in her.
Yeah, Tangwan Yu just coming in a bit late, maybe not synergizing as well as he could with Zhao's Annie. It did seem that the tib was sort of a bit early, but then they did pick up a kill very nicely, make a bit of a misplay coming out of the Dudu Mimda and the Nidalee. However, it was secured. Jarvan sneaking out of that Diana all in, and yeah, a bit of a comeback. However, your KotN made a very, very nice roam and was able to pick up the kill. Blowing the flash though, so flash and teleport down on the Singe as well. Best Sean, but not doing okay. Best Sean.
Yeah,
was ganked.
Sorry.
Yeah, no, he was ganked. Fairly elementary gank, but you know he could be completely dominating this lane. But he seems to be doing okay. Is 10 CS down, but is to be expected.
I don't think that flash is going to mean too much for KotN. He's got himself 2 kills. He's got himself the team out already. He's going to lay down the challenge onto Best Sean, try and pop those those vitals. Just one more will secure him the kill, and he should be able to do it with 1 dash forward. Ooh. And he does. KotN on a killing spree. That is his 3rd kill. Now Zhao being aggressed onto Becky CC. He should just be able to turn and take out Becky CC. The flag and drag combo to knock Becky CC up in the ultimate, and Becky CC going extremely low. Actually, Tangwan Yu going to fall. Dudu Mimda picks up the kill. The ace in the hole doesn't secure the kill onto Becky CC, however, and that will be Sanya Hara actually picking up a double kill there on that Nautilus. So the kills going over to the side of M.I.C. 2 kills at this point. And with a 7-1 lead over the side of Royal Never Give Up, M.I.C just laying down so much pressure in this early game.
Yeah, Becky CC, Diana, opting to go for 2 Doran's rings, does have the early game advantage over the Annie Zhao. Not in range, but on the fact that, you know, going that Rod of the Ages, Catalyst Protector, Annie route. And unfortunately, really good strategy for BeckyCC, knowing that the Tibbers was just offline for a few more seconds to dive in whilst he could, and both Tang Wanyu on the Jarvan and Zhao on the Annie dying for nothing there. Tang Wanyu still not hit 6 with Duda Mimda on the Nidalee at level 7.
Yeah, that Cataclysm still going to be down for the side of Roaring Never Give Up. So that's a huge ganking ability that Tang Wanyu really has to reach as soon as possible. Dudu Mimda has picked up his Runic Echoes on Nidalee, so that's a massive power spike for the Nidalee. Going to lay down so much damage with that Echo passive that comes out of it. He's actually going to land a spear onto Zhao, jump in, flash. Tibber's stun does come out, but Zhao is going to find himself going very low. Ignite should secure them a kill. Dudu Mimda actually, with the red buff, will secure that one. And another gank from Dudu Mimda. He is 4-1-3.
Again, he's just elementary ganks, happy to flash leak, does not mind about the Tibbers. And it does look like they are going to get a dragon for their trouble. There is absolutely nothing that Royal Never can do about this, as Bugtan does go in, dominating that top lane now. Is up 2 levels, which is not what you want as a top laner.
No, best Sean on this Singed. The kind of strategy that you have with the Singed is that you, actually a fantastic ultimate coming out of Tang Wanyu. The flag drag combo, reducing the armor on that Diana, and then the ultimate just to secure that one off. He was under turret, so the turret helped out as well. Tang Wanyu getting the much needed kill, really, to try and help him get back into this game.
Yeah, and you see how much that helps. He's got double buffed now, back on level 7, even with Dudu Mimda, his opposition jungler. Though we do still have a problem with Bugtan. You know, where is Best Sean going to be? But 3-0-0 for that Fiora now. Sitting, building up. You got the tire mat, the Durarms first, and the Singe is really completely out of items. I would massively want him to go back soon because the guy has no health.
Well, he has got 1,400 gold in the bank. Dinge going for that stacking build. I assume he would have gone a Rod of Ages if he was in a bit of a better position than he is currently. It's going to be hard for Best Sean in this game. As a Singe player, you kind of want to have that lane advantage, trying to secure yourself the leads with, the CS, but he's currently down by 40 CS, so it's not going well for him in this top lane, and gonna be pretty hard for him for the rest of the game, because he's not going to be able to split push very much, so he's probably going to have to group with his team. And Singed, whilst he can get some really good flanks off, when M.I.C are so far ahead, it's going to be extremely hard.
Yeah, and I think the build path of the team, Royal Never, just isn't really helping them either. You know, they've got a stacking build on the Singe. BeckyCC does take a bit of damage, but seems to be fine. Dudu Mimda continually doing some counter damage, but you have this issue where the items on Royal Never are stacking in the form of going the Rod of Ages build on the Annie, stacking on the Singed, who hasn't even bought any health yet, beyond the Doran shield. And again, Caitlyn does take a fair while to sort of rack up to that mid-game power spike. So it's a problem, I think, in their build path, and they just don't have the damage at the moment.
Yeah, so one of the best things you can get as a kind of siege poke composition that M.I.C have built is an early advantage, because it means that any potential all-in engage that comes out of Royal Never Give Up is going to be so much weaker than it could be, as Grand Challenge is actually laid onto Best Sean, going extremely low, but I think Bug10 will just accept that it's a little bit too risky to all-in this Singed at this point, so very reserved by the player. BeckyCC trading back onto Zhao. Tang having to be very careful as Nidalee once again counter jungling. And as I was saying, for the team of Royal Never Give Up, they have this all-in engage composition, which is really good if you can lay down the damage. But because they're so far behind, that damage just doesn't exist yet. So M.I.C have this really massive window that they can be laying down so much pressure onto Royal Never Give Up. They haven't actually really done it yet at this 13-minute mark. It's been very steady lanes, but if M.I.C were to group up, try and lay down the pressure as Dudu Mimda is actually doing in the mid lane now, trying to take that turret down, it's going to be really hard for Royal Never Give Up to contest.
Yeah, and it is going to be a big difference.
Ooh. But Tib is probably saving Zhao's life there. So really nicely played by Zhao. one of the hardest things to do is all-in engaging in Annie.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Just looking for the sort of be catcher sleeping as they took down the mid tower, but with that mid tower down, it does open up the map massively for M.I.C. They've taken the dragon, they are pushing the lanes now, like you said, Nidalee applying that pressure, and this is where you see Diana really come into her element. Both Diana and Nidalee, great roamers, incredibly mobile, and they're going to be bot lane, mid lane, top lane all game now. The map is open for them, and they're ready to roam. That Abyssal Scepter finished on the Diana to Annie's still very, just 2 Doran rings on the side of her ability power. It's a real problem.
Yeah, that Rod of Ages needs to be purchased as soon as possible so that Zhao can start stacking up. He does have 1400 gold in the bank, so getting there, but not quite. I think he needs another 800 gold to be able to build that Rod of Ages, so we'll have to see how he finds that one in this game. What I really want to see from Dudu Mimda at this point is a Rift Herald. Team up with Bugtan, give the Rift Herald over to Dudu Mimda, and then that roaming Nidalee can just go all across the map and lay down so much map pressure. The buffed up minions will help them siege down the turrets, get that gold that will just put them even further ahead, and just try and push Royal Never Give Up out of this game.
Yeah, the Rift Herald is a really nice, interesting addition to the game. I think when it first came in, we do see a bit of a tower dive going down.
Yeah, it's Sanjara going to go very low, but Becky CC does slay Faker VIP. Monica on the back line is going on to Bugtan as the Flag and Drag combo does connect. And Becky CC going to try and knock down this AD carry. Bugtan picks up the kill. The Cataclysm means they're all grouped up. Zhao going extremely low. Bugtan diving under the turret. The Flag and Drag does miss. Heals from Dudu will keep Bugtan nice and healthy. And that is another easy engage by M.I.C. They secured 2 for nothing. They are now grouped up with Dragon spawning in just 5 seconds, so we'll surely be able to secure their second Dragon of the game. And M.I.C. laying down this early pressure that we said they needed to.
Yeah, Faker VIP on that Zyra not really respecting or being aware of the map movements of M.I.C, and they do take that tower, destroying Zyra in the process. Do see in that last fight the sort of potential problems and benefits coming out of that Jarvan Cataclysm. He did lock the Diana up under the tower, however, it did leave Cataclysm with Titanic Hydra. Best Sean looking for something here.
Yeah, I'm not sure he's going to find it, as they have grouped up under the turret, and with the True Shot Barrage heading onto Faker VIP, chunks him down for half health. There's not really much Royal Never Give Up can do here. Zhao's so low, Faker VIP low. Sean, using that Ghost, didn't get anything for it.
Yeah, I'm not really sure what he was going for, to be honest, but we do have a bit of a settle now. Tang Wenyu happy to take his red buff, and really what Royal Never needs to be doing now is just sitting back, assessing the situation. They are behind quite significantly, 6,000 gold advantage now for M.I.C, and they need to just, relax, get back into the game, try and get farm, try and get those items finished. Rod of Ages is now finished on Annie, which is a nice sort of, I guess it's just a bit of a release for their team. They actually do have some damage now, and just wait for their team to sort of get a bit more tanky so they can survive this onslaught.
Yeah, so currently an 8,000 gold lead for M.I.C. This Manchester team really laying down the pressure. The only outer turret to now fall would be that bot one, which if they wanted to, they could just all group up and go take. It looks like they're trying to pressure in this this mid turret, tier 2 turret, constantly counter jungling Tang Wenyu, trying to keep him down. There's about a 20 CS difference in these 2 junglers, which is quite huge in the jungle. Not so much in lanes, as now we're actually going to see Best Sean getting aggressed onto. Grand Challenge is there, and that's going to be Dudu Mimda. The spear hits, so he's able to pounce right on over, and will pick up his 5th kill of the game.
And this is sort of a prototypical Singe now, gone behind 0-3-0, and he's overextending a ridiculous amount. He's lost his tower, and he's still sitting, halfway up the map with 0 wards on that side of his jungle, despite, near where the Raptors are, and he's obviously going to be caught out. There's 3 people missing. I do see a fight starting.
Yeah, depth charge onto Zhao, but here comes the stun onto Jingling Media. He will fall. Now it's Sarah Jara who is going to be aggressed onto. Dudu Mimda is here, and Becky's around the corner. They're going to try and turn this one around. Dudu Mimda landing the spear onto Baker VIP, a fantastic target, but the stun is up for Zhao. The teleport will come out from Best Sean just to turn this one around. So they secure themselves a kill onto the Ezreal. Ooh, fantastic spear. So much damage on this early game, Nidalee. Building a needlessly large rod. So we'll be probably translating that into a Zhonya's as this game progresses. Rod of Ages has been picked up on the side of Zhao. He picked that up 2 minutes ago, so that will be stacking up. Surprised to see that Best Sean did end up going for the Rod of Ages. He just purchased it for himself. So under that 20-minute mark, they kind of say, you don't buy Rod of Ages before 20 minutes, then don't buy Rod of Ages. But he does manage to get it just before, so both these scaling items will be stacked up for around that 28-minute mark. As now Monica Blaba gets himself locked back in. Becky's gonna just dash over, and so much damage coming out of that that Diana, just able to really easily aggress onto the squishy marksmen of Royal Never Give Up.
Yeah, and this is M.I.C now playing the game as we expected. Darcy taking that bottom turret. Then they're going to apply the pressure. As they do, you see Fiora, Bugtan already starting that off in the mid lane. They're just going to play this split push game. Bugtan at this point is so far ahead, and I know that Royal Never Give Up are going to want Best Sean in the fight, and if he's a typical Singe player, he's just going to be AFK the whole game, as we do see him in the top lane right now as something might kick off.
Yeah, well, Bugtan has roamed down. Dudu Mimda once again counter jungling Tang Wanyu. There's a 30 CS difference. There's a nice long range spear. The challenge is laid down, but a stun from Annie will prevent that from going any further. And Tang Wanyu very safe when he's got Xiao by his side. But now for M.I.C, they will be trying to push down this tier 2 mid lane turret.
Yep, and I do not think there is anything Royal Never can really do about this. There is nobody there. There's absolutely no reaction. It's 3v2. And it does look like the Nidalee, Dudu Mimda is happy to push the bot lane, and if she stays against that Caitlyn long, I know she's going to eat her. But really, M.I.C now just looking to take a bit of control of that bot lane, shoving out the mid lane so that they can go for the dragon, which is up in 44 seconds. And it will be interesting to see if Royal Never can do anything about that, whether they'll want to contest, as that movement speed from the third dragon is going to be extremely beneficial for M.I.C.
Well, Royal Never Give Up. They're down by 10k, Sam. That dragon, it's kind of one of those things that until it hits 5th dragon, if you're this far behind, you can't really afford to be contesting it because the team fight coming out of M.I.C is just so much greater at this moment. 14 seconds left on. That movement speed, as you say, would be so useful to the side of M.I.C, so they can kite and chase as much as they want. But equally on the side of Royal Never Give Up, that first dragon, it grants them a 6% damage increase on both AP and AD, and it would really help them catch up, get them a tiny power spike on the damage dealers. But with Tang Wanyu on the red buff, I think this will easily go over to M.I.C.
Yeah, and like you said, it does look like they are sensible enough not to contest that one. It's not really worth the risk, and their positions were really not really there. They could have tried to make some sort of capitalization, knowing that multiple players at M.I.C were on the bottom side of the map, but it does seem that they are sort of floating around, potentially not sure what to do with themselves at this point when they are behind so much. And this is what you see with teams that maybe aren't as practiced as some of the other teams we have in the tournament. When they get behind, it does seem quite a lot of the time that they are happy to sort of just keep playing the game the way they were playing despite being behind, and they just get further and further behind to the point where they are crushed.
Well, speaking of not practiced, look at the warding trinkets on the side of Royal Never Give Up. 5 yellow trinkets for this team. They're so far behind, and they're struggling to lay down vision in their own jungle. Really what we want to see from Royal Never Give Up at this stage, when you're this far behind, you want to see the majority of the team switching out for a far side orb, as Best Sean once again aggressed onto. Grand Challenge is laid, but KotN not able to pop the bite. It was actually a flash forward, will get it. Fantastic
Nice.
riposte will secure him the double kill onto Baker VIP as well. And that is KotN just showing off what Fiora can do at this late game. 6-0-1. But as saying, you know, 5 warding tokens on the side of Royal Navy up. Really surprised Faker VIP, who's got himself a Sightstone, hasn't switched over to the sweeping orb. So a bit of a misplay there from the support, as now it's going to be, wow, Monica just being completely demolished. Xiao there to try and pick up a counter kill. I don't think he's going to be able to do it. Flash has been used, but he wasn't able to make the distance. As now Baron actually being started up for M.I.C.
Yeah, well, Best Sean is down and Annie is on the bot side with no teleport. This is going to be a really comfortable Baron for M.I.C, and it's going to put them further and further ahead. A real problem for Royal Never, actually. 4,000, can't contest that, and who knows what sort of items are going to get finished off after this Baron power play. Nidalee finishing that Abyssal Scepter, finishing that Nash's Tooth, and the Death Cap. Also, sorry, the Nidalee finishing the Death Cap and the Nash's Tooth on the Diana even. And there's just a ridiculous amount of damage, as you saw with Bugtan in the top lane, destroying that Zyra in just a few hits. I have no idea what Royal Never can do at this point.
Well, they should never give up, as their name will hint to, but they're in a really sticky position because M.I.C are playing a very safe game. They're not playing very dangerously here. They haven't gone for things that are too risky so far, so they've got the advantage that they aren't making mistakes. And when you've got a siege composition like they do, it's very easy to not all in an enemy. You can just poke from afar. With this Baron buff, they will probably try and secure themselves their first inhibitor at you know, roughly the 28-29 minute mark. But those Rod of Ages have been stacking up. They're almost stacked for the side of Royal Never Give Up, so a bit of a damage spike will come out of them. And if M.I.C are to misstep, like maybe they have done here, then Royal Never Give Up will have a chance to head back into this game.
Yeah, and you do see them very smartly, M.I.C, adopting the 4-1 split push. That Bugtan, there's absolutely nothing that Royal Never can do about this. Best Sean is going to out there, but he just doesn't have the damage. As you do see a 5-star.
The engage comes out, and Tang Wan Yu actually just going extremely low. Ultimate was missed from Baker VIP, everyone flashed out of it. Bugtan in the top lane has got himself onto the inhibitor. He's actually taking Best Sean out as Becky's CC goes in, getting himself a double kill onto both Baker VIP and Monica blah blah blah. The turret is destroyed, inhibitor taken down by Bugtan. This second inhibitor will come for in the bot lane, and not looking good for Royal Never Give Up. I think M.I.C could probably try and finish the game.
Yeah, Becky CC, you know, pretty much getting a double kill on his own there. The rest of this team just happy to take the inhibitor. I mean, what the hell? They're so far ahead. They should be pushing for the win. And what can Royal Never really pull out at this point? The Tibbers is up.
Now they're 20k behind. Royal Never Give Up is. Dredgeline does miss. This is going to be an engage. Xiao does lay down Tibbers onto Becky CC. Cataclysm coming out as well, but it's not looking good for the side of Royal Never Give Up. They've used most of their damage, and now they're falling. Sean is going to fall. Dudu means they will pick up the kill, and now they're going to fall onto Monica. Blah blah blah. Bugtan will get his godlike. That is Tang Yuan Yu going down as well. Only Xiao left alive on this fountain, as the buffed up minions will finish the game. M.I.C, decisive victory, 20k gold up, 21-3, and finishing the game very cleanly at the 28-minute mark.
Yeah, very